Hi, Brittany Powers here, and this is my Module 10 case study assignment for EDL 856. The title of this case study was A New Role for the Parents Organization. First, let's look at a summary of the case. Who was involved? Myself, the principal, a parents organization, and specifically the president of this organization, who is a young attorney. It happened on a Thursday. It was before the back-to-school night had taken place, and it was a meeting discussing this upcoming event, and it happened in my office. What happened was the parents' organization that works for my school recently chose to leave the PTA. This was confusing for me because I know about the PTA and I have a lot of respect for the organization, and I appreciate the good work they do. This new parent organization that they formed has been meeting and excluding me from discussions. Now they have a list of requests, including they would like to change back to school night into a multi-week program. They're unhappy with the level of education relayed at these back to school night events and communicated to us that parents oftentimes leave more confused about school and what their child's going to be doing. They would like to break this up into a series of events where teachers are in charge of presenting about specific topics and giving a more in-depth overview of their teaching style. And then they also wish for teachers to offer more parent-teacher conferences. And of course, teachers are going to be the ones responsible for this additional work, and they want it all to happen in the evenings. They also wish essentially to be equal partners with school administration. They desire to be involved in all school decisions and policy making, including discipline, teacher performance, curriculum, and total school evaluation. Parents are feeling a level of frustration with their lack of involvement in the school program, and they reportedly all share these desires, and they've already formed committees to addressing these specific needs, such as discipline, teacher performance, curriculum, and total school evaluation. Next, let's break this down into legal and ethical issues. First, legal issues. After reflecting on this case, I did a little bit of research about the laws for parent engagement, and the laws only support parent engagement. There's not many boundaries, and there's not much structure for that boundary setting within schools. The president of this new parent organization is an attorney, and so he's going to be an expert in the area of legal issues. So that's something for us to keep in mind. Parents are seeking to enact roles that require certification. So they're hoping that they can act as advisors and decision makers on issues of curriculum and teacher competency and areas of student discipline and perhaps teacher discipline. And these are areas that I would never allow someone to fill that role unless they were certified. Moving on to ethical issues. Parents are relating disrespectfully. Parents have met secretly, which feels dishonest. As far as the ethical issues I am facing as principal, I have a responsibility to be honest and fair, respectful, promote collaborative effort among key stakeholders, support every student and adult's learning development, construct appropriate organizational policies and systems, maintain a level of student privacy, especially concerning their academic records and progress. I can't have parents in our building monitoring student progress. I have a responsibility to give teachers dignity, to ensure teachers are not being given more work than they are compensated for. And I have a responsibility to model integrity and consistency across the board. So here is a synthesis of the situation. Parents seek to gain control and influence in my school in ways they are not qualified for, while I feel conflicted on how to maintain positive relationships and properly care for a larger community of teachers, students, and other families. So here's a synthesis of the facts. This situation took place in my office, but there are some unknowns we have about this case. What city is it happening in? Is this event surrounding an elementary school? And if so, what are the demographics? Are there problems with the school that are constituting this extreme behavior? Do the parents have a history of frustration? Is there a history of incompetent teaching? The people involved were myself, the parent group, and specifically the president of the group. I would like to know how many parents are involved in this organization. Is it growing? Has the number deteriorated since they made the switch from leaving PTA? How do other parents in the community not involved in this organization feel about it? Are they aware? Looking at the program, I believe this is a public school with a Board of Education and policies. We know that the group was a former member of the PTA. What I don't know is what curriculum is the school using? Is it successful? What staff development is already implemented and happening? Who is on the administration team? So I know that I'm the principal. Do I have an assistant principal, an IDC? And what SPED or ELL programs are taking place in the school? How many needs do we have within the school community? What are we looking at supporting here? So here I am prioritize the information in this case. The people this situation would affect are teachers, students, other families outside of the parent organization, my own administration, having to collaborate with a brand new team, and my school district as a whole. What I still need to know is, what is the mission statement of this new parent group? What are their parameters? Who are the members of this committee? I would like to know their goals moving forward. What are they trying to accomplish? And what is their reason for leaving the PTA? Did they have a problem with the PTA? Why were they not able to be a successful support for our school community while abiding by the limitations of the PTA and the protections of the PTA? What's the hierarchy? Who are the leaders within this parent organization? And what are our boundaries going to be moving forward? I still have a lot I need to know about this organization, especially since all their meetings have been happening in secret. So next, I will start considering some possible decisions I can make going forward. But as I considered my decisions, and I considered my options that I have available to me for my next steps, I was thinking, how can I demonstrate the capacity to collaboratively engage and cultivate relationships with diverse community members, partners, and other constituencies for the benefit of school improvement and student development? At the end of all of this, my goal is school improvement and student development. I also value collaboration, and I know that parent involvement is a key factor in student success and growth. So I do value parent engagement, I do value parent involvement, and I want to make sure that we can preserve these relationships moving forward. So here are my options. Number 1, allow parents to do as they wish. See how it goes. Option 2, put them in their place. Let them know their ideas won't be happening. So I could say something like this: your team has crossed the line a bit. As principal, I only allow certified individuals with educational experience and backgrounds to fill the roles you are requesting. These roles required specialized degrees and training, and if there is a member on your team, I'll be happy to interview them. However, while I appreciate your willingness to serve, your energies are most valuable the way you've used them in years past. Option 3. I can notify and consult with my superior, meet with my administration team at school, and decide what our boundaries will be. I would deny requests for any decision-making involvement, but I would create a plan for how they can be more involved moving forward. I ultimately would try to involve them as much as possible. So with this option, I would say something like, you've given me a lot to think about. I need to ponder on this tonight. In the meantime, I've taken some detailed notes about your ideas. Do you mind if I send them to you to make sure I have the right understanding? Once you confirm if I do, I will bring this to my team so we can all get on the same page and discuss logistics. Then I would like to have a follow-up meeting with you guys. Would next Tuesday work for a follow-up meeting? Before then, I am also going to meet with my superior and loop them in on this situation. I would need to discuss the district guidelines before making any decisions. I would, of course, come to this meeting with a plan in place and those boundaries already established. Option 4. I would request a better understanding of the group, especially since I've been left out of those meetings. I don't know what they're about yet, so I would ask for that. Next, I would tell them my superior will ultimately need to make the decision here. I would request a new meeting with their team and mine when they update me on their organization's structure. I would also bring a legal representative to this meeting. And of course, I would consult with my superiors. I wouldn't just notify them. I would kind of get their feedback and see what they think the right move is here. I would tell them, you've given me a lot to think about, once again. I will need to ponder on all this, but I will need more information about this new group to feel comfortable moving forward with any decisions yet. I am encouraged by your willingness to serve the school that I love. However, I will need to consult with my superior and bring my team into this conversation. Would you be willing to hold a meeting with your team and mine to explain your vision? Then I would come into the meeting with a plan in place that I constructed with my superior and my team, and I would also bring a legal representative with me when I come. So here's my option evaluation. The first option, letting parents have their way, it would promote collaboration and inspire my staff members, some of them who weren't too upset about the situation, to try some new things. Ultimately, that might affect student learning in a positive way. The cons are it would upset teachers, it would violate student privacy, possibly breach a district policy, and I would face discipline in the end, and then it might upset other families who don't want parents in working and watching how their kids are progressing. Number 2, put them in their place. I would support teachers by constructing appropriate organizational policies and systems, and I would protect student privacy. However, I would damage relationships with this group, risk the school gaining a bad rap, and possibly face discipline for responding poorly and not looping my superior into this tricky situation. Here are the pros and cons of options 3 and 4. So these options are a little better. Option 3, I would support teachers, promote collaboration, possibly inspire staff to try new things, and I would get a chance to collaborate with my superiors as well. All of this, I think, would support student success because teachers would be supported and they would be willing to try new things. The cons are parents might not be totally happy because they're not getting exactly what they want. Option 4, collaborating with my superiors, my own team, bringing a legal representative, and seeking to establish boundaries while giving parents as much freedom as we can and as much involvement as we can, would support teachers, promote collaboration between all stakeholders and my superiors, and possibly inspire staff to try new creative approaches for improving our school and promoting learning. Again, the parents might not totally be happy because it's not their plan, but we do have to have some boundaries. So next, before I chose a decision, here was my goal that I had in mind. I want to identify diverse community resources and plans so that I could use these resources to benefit my school program and student learning. I also would like to engage with community members, partners, and other constituencies around shared goals. And last, I would like to cultivate regular two-way communication with them. So these are the goals that impacted the decision I made. So ultimately, I went with option 4, request better understanding, consult with superior, my own team, have a new meeting with a legal rep, decide boundaries, and seek to build a relationship and really utilize these parents. It's easy to feel defensive, but I know that they have great things to offer, and research is very clear that parents have a major role in impacting the success of students in a really positive way. I feel that this option is most respectful and has the most benefits. It gets everyone on board and cares for each need. So my superior, my